Let me ask you a question. How many times have you foam rolled, smashed, and massaged those angry IT bands, but still woke up the next day feeling the same cranky tissue? Well, that ends today, because I'm going to show you a simple sequence to eliminate that pesky IT band issue. And real quick, if you want the full system to unlock the tight, sticky hips, be sure to check out my Healthy Hips 10-Day Challenge, where I show you exactly what to do and when, so you can finally say bye-bye tight hips. What's up, guys? Coach Matt here, and after working with over 1,000 professional, collegiate, and everyday athletes, I'm about to drop a knowledge bomb on you about your good friend, the IT band. That pain and tightness you feel isn't coming from a problem in your IT band at all. It's usually coming from dysfunction in your glutes. Yes, your glutes. When your glutes can't externally rotate like this. So that's this movement where I slowly bring the foot up, the femur rolls out, that's external rotation. Undue stress and tension is then placed on the IT band, which is one giant piece of connective tissue that runs from the top of your hip all the way down to your knee. So if we create better external rotation of the hip, so this guy again, it will allow our glutes to do the job they're meant to do and ease up on your poor IT band. It's way more simple than it sounds, so stick with me. Now today's sequence will incorporate stretching and, more importantly, strengthening in that external rotation of your hip. No equipment is needed, so let's get cracking. Now, we're going to first get into what we call that classic glute stretch. We've all done this before, where you lay on your back and you throw the foot up over the knee. However, it's not what the exercise is, it's how you do it. And that's really the focus of what we're going to do today. So let's get into that position, and then we're going to hold that stretch for 2 minutes. And I'll explain why 2 minutes here in a moment. So I like to lay on my back, and you're going to lay flat and have your left leg, because we're going to work on our right hip today, you're going to have your left leg bent roughly to 90 degrees. Now, if you have really, really tight glutes, your left knee is going to dictate how deep the stretch is. So if you're really tight, your left knee might be out here. If you're more mobile, your knee might be here. And if you're pretty flexible, then you would throw that foot up, maybe on a wall or something, because now when I bring this foot up and over, I want to find where I feel a stretch here. Now you'll see a lot of people do this, but notice what my spine is doing. My spine is helping my hip. I don't want that. I want to make sure my hip is good all by itself, so I want to eliminate my spine. So how do I do that? I just lay back and I kind of like stick my butt out a little bit, and then I just slowly bring this left knee closer to me. So you got to find your stretch. So where's the stretch be? It should be right here on the outside, not the bottom, but more on the outside. So another option people like to do is this. And then a nice deep stretch. So I got pretty loose glutes, so I can kind of get here. But you might be here, you might even be out here. I've seen even worse there when they're here. The goal is have that knee at 90, and then it's the rotation of the hips. So you see how this lower leg is swinging around. That's the key, and that's what you got to get set up. So go find where your stretch is, and I'm going to set the clock for 2 minutes. So right now I just feel a nice stretch right here, like 50%. And what I mean by that is, like a scale of 1 to 10, 1 you feel nothing, 10 you feel like the bone's being ripped out. I don't want to feel that feeling, I want to be at like a 5, because that way it's nice and calm, and I'm just really focusing on here. One more quick setup. You want to make sure your pelvis is flat compared to your ribs. So sometimes people will do this, and as they get here, their ribs will jut out, and you'll feel your obliques come out to the side. So just kind of be mindful of that. All right, so we're picking 2 minutes for stretching. You're probably wondering why 2 minutes. Science shows us that if you hold the stretch for at least 2 minutes, you get an increase, a temporary increase in range of motion. So in theory, if I sit here for 2 minutes and I feel this good stretch, at the end of 2 minutes, I should be able to get a little bit deeper. And you've probably felt that if you've ever gone to a yoga class, you come out and you're like, oh man, I feel so much loosey-goosey here. However, it goes away in about an hour to 90 minutes, unless you do the strengthening components in that new range, which is what we're going to do today. All right, let's check in our time. So we got about 50 seconds left, so you're still just feeling that good stretch. Now, here's where we kind of get into the nitty gritty. We have to do isometrics of the tissue that's being lengthened, so this, and then the tissue that pulls us into that stretch, which is this. So don't do any of this yet, we're still stretching, this is just how we do it. You're going to take your hand, put it on your knee, you're going to push your knee gently into your hand, and then you're going to try to swing your foot like that into this left knee though, okay? Make sure we have that. That'll make this guy fire, and then we'll relax, and then we'll try to swing this foot toward our chest. It ain't going to move, but you're going to feel this insane inner thigh feeling here, okay? All right, here we go. So, make sure you're solid. Abs are engaged. You're sticking your butt out a little bit. We're still at that end range stretch. Hand goes on the knee. You're going to push the knee gently into your hand, and now you're going to drive your right ankle away into your left knee, and you'll start to feel this tissue contract. Hang in there. If you don't feel it yet, keep pushing. And you'll start to kind of like, oh, there he is. And boom, we're at 50% of our capability for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Now, take your hand, put it on the outside, and now the knee just kind of pushes into the fingers very gently, and you're going to try to swing this foot this way. And go. You should feel that inner thigh light up. 10, super awkward. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. And you should be able to get a little bit deeper into your stretch now, okay? That trying to pull toward your face does not go well for anybody the first 10 times they do it, but you just want to feel. But still make sure this knee is straight up and down. He's not here. It's more about increasing the swinging of the foot around. We're going to go do all that one more time. All right, so make sure you're solid. Start to have the hand right here on the knee. Drive your foot away from you into that left knee. 50%, begin. 10. Now, you feel it faster now, right? 8, 7, right here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Hand goes on the outside. And now try to swing the foot up toward your face. Go. Feel that inner thigh. I sometimes smack it and poke it just to make sure I feel it. I'm like, oh, there he is right there. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and dial it down. And go get that good stretch again. So sometimes I'll even do this where I hook my hand. That feels really good. I just got a bigger stretch. I just don't want to do this, because that's tapping into another action of the hip, not rotation anymore. It's not a bad thing, but that's not our focal point. All right, so we're going to come out of this and we're going to do some hip rotations to kind of hit save on our work. So you can just kind of let your left leg go, hold your right knee over your hip, and you're going to swing the foot toward your left shoulder, and then you're going to swing it out to the side. Swing toward your left, swing it out to the side. And notice it's kind of like, it's like a rotisserie screw running through my femur, which is this big bone. So my knee's not really moving, it's just my hip. And I'm feeling that rotation, right? As you swing that foot around, as this gets better, the glute relaxes and we stop putting so much stress on that IT band. Because you can't really do anything to your IT band. He's kind of like he's like a victim in the hip sequence, right? So if I make my hip better, my IT band will naturally relax. Because you can foam roll your IT band until the cows come home, but you can't affect that tissue. If we cut the IT band out of your hip, we could go drag like a pickup truck with it. So you're not going to do anything with a gun, foam roll, or anything like that. Okay, so you can come on out of that relaxed. All right, so you're going to probably feel some like really strange sensations in your hips when you start to walk around a little bit. That's a good thing because you use some tissue that's probably not been utilized in quite a while. Now you can perform this exact sequence 3 times per week with 1 day of rest in between. So you can do this at the end of your workout, specifically on leg or like a hard cardio day. And this is just the beginning, guys. If you want to take your hip health to the next level and finally get rid of aches, pains, and tightness in your glutes, IT bands, hip flexors, or hamstrings, check out the Healthy Hips 10-Day Challenge, where I show you a simple system to unlock your hips in less than 10 minutes a day. I've put the link below so you can check it out. Until next time, keep up the great work. Remember to be strong, be mobile.